Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
80% I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
I must say I was not aware of that. Hello and welcome to Pakhuis de Zwijger. I'm Narija. Today we find ourselves in Amsterdam-Oost, where we will question young Amsterdammers about indigenous liberation and conservation of nature. Join me as we hit the streets and ask what they know about the subject. Do you think there's a link between the climate crisis and colonialism?
I think there is a link, especially with if you compare global north and global south. So back before the era where climate crisis was one of the topics for discussion, you had the more powerful north capitalize on it, right? But now that it's a topic of discussion, the south is being criticized for doing the exact same thing the north was.
Like maybe deforestation or that, like the concept of colonialism was a lot of using like resources and getting resources from new places. So maybe in that sense, it is related to topics like deforestation and erosion and all of that that leads to climate change.
Did you know that 80% of the world's biodiversity is protected by indigenous people?
I did know that the jungle has a lot of biodiversity because we live in the Netherlands, there's nothing here. But 80% I did not know that because it's not that big of an area, I think, but that's quite big, large amount.
I didn't know that, but I think that's something good for the planet. And I think more people should start doing that. Because in some countries, people tend to do it less than other countries. And I think people should learn from that and start following their steps.
Do you think it's fair that they get only about 1% of the funding that heads towards climate protection?
Of course not. Yeah, they should get so much reparations and funding, not just because of the climate crisis, but because of everything else as well.
I think they definitely could be giving more money because there's a lot of knowledge and ancestral knowledge from those indigenous communities.
Do you think that we can learn something from the way that indigenous people have protected the biodiversity?
Probably, since this is what we have to do in general to protect the climate. We have to stop the mass consumption and the mass production. We have to kind of go back to the roots of just being humans.
So I think that their voices definitely should be given more attention. I'm not sure as how to do it because I'd say also another problem is that sometimes a lot of people that advocate for their voices, like they are still the white people that speak up and they gain the majority of attention and recognition. So I'd say there must be a better balance between activists that are trying to fight the problem with the use of the actual voices of indigenous people.